deliver a Thanksgiving address to America. Kenneth?
Elizabeth Schultz here in Washington. Thank you. President Trump is expected to travel to Pennsylvania today, joining his attorney Rudy Giuliani. It comes as state Republicans hold a hearing on election fraud allegations. It's at a hotel in Gettysburg, not at the state capitol, because it's not a formal legislative hearing.
6 months ago today, George Floyd's death under the knee of a Minneapolis police officer sparked a national movement. The killing prompted calls to defund the police. The Minneapolis City Council approved a plan to dismantle the police force. It was later rejected by the city's charter commission. But one lawmaker says change is still possible.
I think I'm not surprised about where we are. There's significant been generated about public safety, not just in Minneapolis, but I think across the country.
Meanwhile, there's been a major increase in crime. The number of murders in Minneapolis has nearly doubled last year's number.
Time now for a look at your Wednesday weather. At least 7 buildings have reportedly collapsed after severe storms moved through Arlington, Texas. A family suffered minor injuries when the roof of a drive-through restaurant fell onto their car. That storm system is moving north and east. It will bring rain to the Midwest and snow to parts of New England. The rain hits the East Coast tomorrow morning, making for a wet Thanksgiving. Today's temperature is 50s from D.C. to Boston, mild from Texas across the Southeast, chilly in the Pacific Northwest, 72 in Phoenix, 54 in Albuquerque. Coming out, prisoners getting unemployment benefits behind bars. How it happened.
Also ahead, caught on camera, the swimmer who got way too close to this shark.
And a growing backlash hours after the Grammy nominations were announced, the snubs, and even reports of an ultimatum. Next.
In times like these, the news-making events happen here. ABC News.
President Trump meeting face-to-face with one of the world's most brutal dictators, Kim Jong-un.
The president.
You trust him?
I do trust him, yeah. I think he trusts me, and I trust him.
Ivanka Trump.
I have to ask you about your emails. Your father had taken Hillary Clinton to task for this.
There just is no equivalency
To the idea of lock her up doesn't apply to you.
No.
Comey.
How strange is it for you to sit here and compare the president to a mob boss?
Very strange.
Michelle Obama.
What do you wish you could tell your pre-White House self?
Melania Trump.
Do you think there's still people there that he can't trust?
Yes.
Still working out.
Yes.
Michael Cohen.
So he's still alive.
Yes.
It's a big statement.
And now, in a year with so much on the line, we're right there.
Good evening tonight from Washington. A very busy news night.
America's #1 news source, ABC News, straightforward.
We all need someone who'll pull no punches and give it to us straight. No bull, no spin. Now imagine getting your news like that. Just give it to me straight. ABC News, straightforward.
Another week in America, a country facing a new test now.
Airport, almost no one here.
The last flight out of road.
This is the nursing home just outside Seattle.
This is ground zero.
It is shut down.
Another ambulance just pulled out.
Now they're headed to the hospital.
Time is of the essence.
You can see the ship behind you for the first time. That's a pretty young here.
Afternoon, evening, late night, 24/7. ABC News. There for you.
What's the most innovative daily news podcast out there to listen to every day? Well, the Edward R. Murrow Awards say it's Start Here, the daily news podcast from ABC News. Even the New York Times calls us a top news podcast worth listening to. Start Here, free on Apple Podcasts. The world may feel out of your control, but your happiness doesn't have to be. Learn the secrets to happiness. Listen to the 10% Happier podcast, free on Apple Podcasts.
Back now with a close call for this swimmer in Miami. A drone captured a 10-foot hammerhead shark swimming just underneath the man who had no clue what was lurking below the surface. Fortunately for him, the shark just swam off eventually.
Lucky man. A massive fraud investigation in California. Prosecutors say the state paid unemployment benefits to at least 20,000 prisoners, including some on death row. They say the state approved more than $140 million for the inmates since the start of the pandemic. Scott Peterson, who was convicted of killing his pregnant wife, was on that list. The claims were filed under real and fake names.
Now to the growing backlash over the Grammy nominations out this morning, including reports of an ultimatum given to one top artist who's now accusing the Grammys of corruption because of how the nominations are made. ABC's Megan Teprezian has more.
This morning, the biggest story about the Grammy nominations is who didn't get one. The Weeknd shut out after releasing one of the most praised albums of the year. Blinding Lights, the longest-running top 10 hit in Billboard history, overlooked. The Canadian artist now calling the Grammys corrupt on Twitter. TMZ reporting he was snubbed after he chose to perform at the Super Bowl over the Grammys.
The song Blinding Lights is the sound of 2020. To have a song like that that is not recognized by music's biggest night is really shocking.
Other snubs include Bob Dylan, The Chicks, Luke Combs, Halsey, Selena Gomez, and The Killers. Justin Bieber was nominated, but he's still crying foul. Taking to social media, he expected his Changes album to be recognized in R&B, not pop. Writing in part, from the chords to the melodies to the vocal style, it is undeniably, unmistakably an R&B album. To be clear, I absolutely love pop music. It just wasn't what I set out to make this time around. It's another good year for female artists. Beyonce leading the field with a record-breaking 9 nominations. Dua Lipa and Taylor Swift both picking up 6 nods. Swift is up to win her 3rd album of the year for Folklore. If Taylor Swift does win for Folklore, she'll be the first female to win Album of the Year 3 times. Kenneth, Mona. Thank you, Megan. Coming up, the World Series star who's now in custody south of the border.
Also ahead, just in time for Thanksgiving, a popular crock pot being recalled because of safety concerns.